Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Entertainment Hour. It's back. It's been a while, but it's back. I'm James Gonzalez, of course. I'll be hosting it along with the co-host here, Crispy Bacon. You know, he handles everything here, and then it's great to have. Well, that's a way to start, was it?
Wait, what?
That was crazy. All right, so Entertainment Hour, we're getting it going. We hope it becomes a habit around here. We're gonna, give you what's going on in the world of entertainment. Now that goes through, music, film, streaming movies, television shows from the past, present, and future. Obviously, a lot has gone on in the entertainment world lately, but let's get to our greetings. So, Crispy Bacon, how are you tonight?
Doing good. Glad the show's back on, and hopefully you guys enjoy it.
And Dragon Viper, it's good to have you back on the network and doing shows. And how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and it's great to be back on. Honestly, I've been on about a month and a half now of doing this, so I still enjoy doing it, and I'm just glad to be even doing these at this point. So
I just thought about it. You have a television show shirt on. I do. Chris, do you have any television show shirts on?
I don't. I could probably find one. Maybe I'll wear it next week.
I was just thinking about the show Dallas back in the day. You could wear that. So let's get to some topics. Now, we're also going to have some fun down the road in this show. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and watch all the show programs here on Coast to Coast Network. There's so much. I mean, when it says about life and everything in between, sports, it's all here. Like, you don't have to go anywhere else, basically. So be sure to lock into Coast to Coast Entertainment Network all week long. I mean, there's even Creeping It Real, or if you need a little scare, it's for you right there. All right, so let's get to the strike update. Of course, the actors and writers were on strike for 118 days. The writers did get out of it, I want to say a couple of weeks ago. But then finally, I believe on Tuesday, I think it was, SAG and AFTRA officially reached an agreement, tentatively, on a new 3-year contract with the studios, a move that is heralding the end of the 2023 actors' strike. Now, this means, though, that eventually there will be your sitcoms back, your television shows, your movies, but the writers are back, writing stuff for the actors and actresses out there, and even animals. But there will be eventually shows and movies and all that, but it'll take maybe until January until you start seeing the new stuff pop up. That's my estimation on this.
What did the animals get in return? I wonder.
Treats. All the treats in the world. Tennis balls for the dogs and cats. Catnip.
For the cats. Catnip. There you go.
Those little balls with the bells in it. So let me go to Dragon Viper first on this inaugural topic, and it's a good one. what did you think about the strike ending? You know, how did it affect you? Were you missing all the new shows that were supposed to be out? Did you want to see, new movies, or were you just fine the way it was, like I was, where I was just watching old movies and old shows? How did you feel about the strike ending?
I'm actually really glad. There's a show coming out, or that they were about to start working on when this strike happened, and I've been, they pretty much halted the show. Stranger Things, and so. I mean, now that the strike is over, they can start working on that and get that, going. So, that can come out and, people can start watching the 5th season. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And as a friend told me before we go to Chris, she was telling me, this really affected the other people on the sets, that make the sets, the makeup people, all the creative people that are out there that you don't see behind the cameras. It affected those people too, the ones that are out there striking.
It was pretty much a ripple effect.
Yeah, it definitely was. Chris, what did you think about the strike ending? How did the strike affect your watching habits, or did it?
It didn't really affect it too much, but I'm sure for those that, have a bunch of new shows that they want to watch, or movies, they're missing out on some stuff. But at the same time too, if you liked a certain show, you watched every season, or, wanted to keep up with it, you kind of appreciated it a little bit more because it was kind of taken away from you. So maybe viewership will go up in that sense. I don't know. Especially if you're like, well, I never saw that show. Strike is going on. Kind of like the pandemic happened. You start catching up on shows, and then it piques everybody else's interest. And now you get new viewers. You get more viewers, new people on it. So I think right now it hurts everybody. But once those shows are back on, things will get better.
You know how there's these happenings where, hey, well, I have to catch up to this show. This show's already on season 5. I need like a good 2 or 3 months or whatever to binge watch this show to get even with everyone else. Well, you had your time to do it. And if I had any interest in any of these shows, like Stranger Things, I've never seen a second of it. But why is the host not seeing the shows, by the way, of this show? But I just thought about that right now. I couldn't tell you anything. Domino's Pizza. But
there you
go. But the set designs of that, the clothing, you think of all those people. They did a great job with that, how they went through the decades in Stranger Things. I did see that. That was really cool. That was kind of nostalgia for folks that were born back then or hanging out back then. That was really cool. So it's good that the strike is over and now work will be done frantically. But that also leads into something else I'm thinking of where, hey, a lot of these streaming services, I just can't believe the price hikes that they're having. Like, I don't even know how much things are. I know I have a few apps, but most of them are free or FBI. I get it from someone else. Nobody knows. They're gonna find me out.
Netflix hear that.
Yeah, I know they're cracking down on things and ever. So hey, if you're someone out there who got caught up, and it's not too far away, you just have to get through the holiday months. I think for Monday nights, usually ABC would have something at 8 Eastern for the prime time, but now they have Monday Night Football. But excuse me, the rest of the days had to go through like reality TV. So, the old Bachelor, Big
yeah,
Brother, I
Big
think,
Brother.
was still going on.
Big
The
Brother
Golden
TV, yeah.
Bachelor, right? Right,
Mhm.
right. But I'm trying to think of other shows that have been on no matter what, just because
Yeah,
they're.
but the thing with reality is they weren't affected.
That's crazy to me.
Wrestling
thinking
wasn't
about that.
affected either.
Yeah, so you still
Yeah.
had your sports, you still had reality TV, but people
Yeah.
like their sitcoms. They like waiting a week and saying, "Hey, couples like getting together." And the betrayal I've seen on reels where it's like, "Hey, you better not watch this show without me. And if you do, we're through." So I've
heard
seen
that, yeah.
that be an issue
I've heard that.
over the years. So let's get into our second topic. So really, it's either previewing or recapping something we've seen lately in the entertainment world. So hopefully that was clear enough. But like a movie or a TV series we've seen, of course, really nothing new. But I'll go to Dragon Viper first. What's something you've seen that you could recap and tell us about?
Actually, I did end up watching the new horror movie Winnie the Pooh. It was pretty, it was pretty good for the most part. There were a couple places in there that was kind of lame, kind of dumb, but overall, I thought that movie was pretty good. But I'm a lot into horror. It doesn't even have to be Halloween, but I'm all about the horror and so I enjoyed a good majority of that movie. And I mean, you've got Christopher Robin going to college, so he left the animals there to fend for themselves, and then all you have left is Winnie the Pooh and Piglet killing people because they've decided not to talk and decided humans were bad. So they started killing people. Christopher Robin showed up with his wife. They killed his wife. And then they would go out through the rest of the movie trying to torture him. And these college kids that ended up showing up at the 100-acre woods. So, I mean, that's all it was pretty much about, was Winnie the Pooh and Piglet killing people throughout the movie. And so I like I said, there were a couple lame parts in that movie, but overall I thought it was pretty good. And
Dude, I'm just wow.
They left it open for a second. So look, I'm definitely looking for a second movie.
I'm looking at this now. I'm like, I've never even heard of it. I'm like, what the
I think
hell?
there's reports last year that it was going to come out or something. And
yeah, it just came out like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, something like that. And so I'm just like, hey, it started in theaters and then I end up watching it on, I think, Peacock Network. And no, I overall I thought it was pretty good, and hopefully the second one that'll come out will be better.
So the budget was $100,000. It made $5.2 million in the box office, 84 minutes long, for anybody wondering. And you have to also wonder what the hell went wrong in Winnie the Pooh's life. Was honey on a shortage and he just went crazy?
Well, they had it set up to where Christopher Robin was the one that was feeding the animals, that they couldn't get food any other way but through Christopher Robin. And when he left
and they starved,
he promised them he would never leave them, and then he goes to college and leaves them, and so they're pretty much on a revenge kick. And yeah,
menacing, thrilling, and gruesome. If you like those three things, I guess you have it in this.
Yeah,
and they, I think they made the movie because, what was it? Disney gave up the rights, like the animation rights or something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
could have used to portray them, per se, and I think that's how the movie got started.
Wow, you think you know someone?
Why?
Well, when they grow up, man. Yeah, you never notice Winnie the Pooh never really had any parents. maybe that was the case. I don't know. Chris, what's something you saw recently that you could tell us about?
Watch a little reality TV, but I did see an older movie, The Birds. That was a scarier movie than what I thought. Just what everybody said. It's about, I guess this woman, helping out somebody, and then this flock of crows showed up and started attacking her and the residents, and that was pretty much the premise of the movie, and it kind of left a cliffhanger. I don't know. I don't think they made a second one, but that's pretty much the premise of it.
Yeah, I know they made The Birds 2, but that was in 30 years later. I just saw.
I'll have to catch up on that one. But yeah, that was pretty much the premise of it. And some people died in it, and I thought it was going to be much scarier than that, but it wasn't.
Wow. I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, that's an old movie. I didn't think. Well, I don't know you personally, so I didn't know what you would watch. That's pretty good. Anything Alfred Hitchcock is like legit. It's legendary. Mm-hmm. It's really good stuff. The birds dying and clearly disoriented, dive bombed into houses. That's that's I guess the real. Or that's the reason why. And this was up in Monterey Bay in, I guess, Central California. Just they said the marine biologist suggested that the birds are poisoned, causing them to act the way they did and eventually fall to their death. Man, I know my mom and I think my whole family watched that movie. I probably haven't, but those I remember some scenes from that and how the people acted, how they were getting their, hair and their head getting bit. I always remember that part of those movies, or those parts of that movie. But yeah, you can't go wrong with anything Alfred Hitchcock. Now the movie, the Winnie the Pooh one, I saw was a 2.9 on the IMDb rating out of 10. It's 7.6. The Birds on IMDb, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, as well, from 1963. Just something if you want to freak somebody out, definitely put that on. I can remember in high school, I think everybody was afraid of birds because we were out at lunch and we were afraid of them just like pooping on our heads, not actually trying to kill us. That was well different than that, I could tell from this movie. So for me, something I watched lately, and it's something I think like people's like grandmas and grandpas, or maybe somebody's uncles or aunts, or maybe some old parents would watch.
Yeah, and even Joanne said something, that her and her dad used to watch it, or her dad did.
I think. Oh, thank you, Joanne. We'll talk soon, definitely. But I can. I think my dad would and my mom would watch it. I can't remember who did, but it's one of those you remember forever. That's for sure. Well, my series or something I've been watching lately. In the Heat of the Night. Now, I've seen the movie before. I think probably everyone has here, from Sidney Poitier in 1968 or 7, I want to say. But that's a legendary movie. That's basically it's based in Sparta, Mississippi. It's about a black detective coming down to where he used to live and helping out the cops figure out a murder case. And there's, all the civil rights stuff going on at the same time. Well, they actually made this a TV show from 1988 to 1994, or a little bit in 95 as well, but not as many episodes, but 8 seasons. And I don't think I've seen them all the shows, or episodes, but I think I'm almost there. I've been watching it for a while. but all I could think of is like it was something that like grandpas and grandmas would have on in the background while like doing stuff. And if you were at their house, you'd be forced to watch that a long time ago because you didn't have your phone. You might have like an Etch-a-Sketch or a Game Boy, but eventually, you know, the Game Boy will run out of batteries. And you had to watch in the heat of the night with your grandma while your parents were at work or out on a date or something. But for some reason, as I get older, I watch stuff from back then. So I really got interested in it because I'm really interested in like police shows and movies. For some reason, I really enjoy like Dragnet and like Adam 12, even Emergency. But there's all these little shows and movies I would watch, and I just stumbled upon the TV show one day, and I really enjoyed it. Now, Carol O'Connell, he's the police chief. You know, he's the main guy, but you knew him from All in the Family, Archie Bunker. Howard Rollins was Virgil Tibbs, played by Sidney Poitier in the movie. And there's a host of others that people may know in the show that are the cops and part of the whole Sparta Police Department, and then part of the city council and but if you like drama, police drama, you know, crime, I know that's a big thing, crime podcasting and whatever else, but it's definitely
crime.
Yeah, that's a big thing beyond like anything, honestly. But there's so many good cases in this. If you're into like true crime and all that, you definitely want to watch In the Heat of the Night. And I think it really broke down the relationship between black and white, how it was going on back then and even still now. But it was great because the chief, you know, Carol O'Connell was white, and then of course Virgil Tibbs was black, and they would work together to you know fight crime and figure out, you know, motives and figure out the crime. So I really enjoyed it. Again, there's so many years of this show and so many episodes, and I probably went through it all. By the way, O'Connell was Chief Bill Gillespie in that, so that might ring a bell with others. Alan Autry is Captain Skinner. I knew him from North Dallas 40, a football movie. But there's other people in this. Anne Marie Johnson is Tibbs's wife. There's also some tragedy I found out while watching the video show. I went on YouTube to find out the background of each character and what they were in real life. There are some guys in this movie that died young in real life. Hugo Connell is Lieutenant Jameson. And in 95, he shot himself. And he died from the wounds, of course. And then Howard Rollins, that plays Tibbs, died from AIDS. And I never knew that. And it was just amazing what you find from the actors that do the show. You just suspect them to be like that, you know, in real life. But they also have their real life going on. So that really just shocked the hell out of me when I saw that. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. So let's move on to the next topic here. The new releases that will come out here on, well, they have it between November 6th and 12th. So it is right here. But, you know, you guys, I sent you the links here, and there were some that stood out to me. November 7th through the 13th. So this weekend, some movies to stream this week on Netflix, Hulu, and much, much more. The ones that I'm seeing that might be interesting is Dumb Money. It is the GameStop, that store that would sell, you know, video games and accessories.
Yeah.
And it's it's kind of a crime scam scandal genre of the 2021 GameStop stock brouhaha, and just a lot of stuff online that happened. Paul Dano and Pete Davidson are the main characters in this. So if you know those two, I know Davidson from SNL. Paul Dano I know from what was that Beach Boys movie that came out in like 2013 or 12? That was really, really good. He was really good in that. He's been good in other films. That's maybe one movie I'll see, but it's basically billionaires unhappy about losing money. They fight back, and then the government gets involved, and then the market goes haywire. So if you like The Wolf of Wall Street, I think that would be something like that. The Inventor is a stop motion animated film about Leonardo da Vinci. So if you like art, I think that's one you would enjoy. You can see that on Apple. Amazon, or no, not Amazon, but Amazon or Apple had the Dumb Money. I think that's probably one I would watch. Scraper is a heartwarming comedy. It's kind of quirky. From Wes Anderson. He's made so many films there. But it's about a 12-year-old girl secretly lives alone in London after the death of her mother, just trying to survive by herself and friending people. That's on Amazon or Apple. Don't want to say that word out loud. The Killer on Netflix. That's something I think everybody's been looking at. David Fincher's the main or the director. And he's done Seven and Fight Club with Brad Pitt back then, so that's something to look for if you like. I think it's it's like a mystery movie. It's pretty good. That's on Netflix. Albert Brooks, Defending My Life. Now Albert Brooks, from like directing so many different movies and stand up. He's been really good in that. He's been around forever. So Rob Reiner sat down with him and did an interview basically about his whole career and the impact that he's had on pop culture. I mean, he's so creative, and you can watch that on HBO Max. I know Albert Brooks from Blazing Saddles. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and he did so well making that movie up. So Dragon Viper, any of these movies kind of interest you to watch maybe?
The only one that I found interest in is The Killer on Netflix. That seemed to actually be the only movie I really want to see.
How about you, Chris? Anything stand out?
Yeah, one stood out to me was I think it was Bad Money, or the one about the
Dumb Money.
GameStop. Yeah, Dumb Money.
Yeah.
I think that would be an
that's the
interesting
only one for me.
I like kind of those behind the scenes. It's not really behind the scenes, but like what went down in situations like that, kind of like Facebook or even that. So I picked the one about GameStop.
Yeah, because I've always wanted to know what happened with that, since like there's so many memes about people bringing in their old game systems and they only get a fraction of what it's worth back. There's also a Fool's Paradise movie with so many different people in it. So Charlie Day's the main guy, but Ken Jeong is in there. Edie Falco, Kate Beckinsale never says a word, but he's the wife of someone in this of Charlie Day, and then the late Ray Liotta is in this movie. It's probably the last one he did. But Common, John Malkovich, Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, Adrian Brody. There are so many different people in this film, and that will be out on Hulu. And then the next thing and the last thing we'll talk about, new releases coming out here, is I've lost it. Here it is. New on Netflix, the 7 shows and movies to watch this week or weekend from November 6th to the 12th. As I get through all the ads and whatnot. Let's see.
Stupid
Okay.
ads.
Yeah. So something I'm really into, not as much the new stuff, but improv comedy, like stand-up comedy. I really like old stuff like that. But on Netflix, there's something called The Improv, 60 Years and Still Standing. It celebrates 6 decades of laughter with the improv at 60. It's just pretty cool to see the nostalgia and everything of the genre. And even if you're not into stand-up comedy, it's worth a watch for a look behind the curtain to all these comics that come and go from there. So it's a star-studded lineup of what they brought in. It's a one-night event, but they pay homage to the past as well. So that's on Netflix. You'll enjoy that. Also, Escaping Twin Flames. That's also on Netflix. It is online Love Gurus, a 3-part documentary series. It's promising to help people find their soulmates through paid classes and mentorship. I think I saw the trailer late night for this, but that's on Netflix. The Claus Family 3. It's of course a Christmas movie. Mo Baker and Amber, I'm not even going to say that last name, but there's a set of holiday hijinks as they help gift deliveries and save Christmas. You'll watch that on Netflix. And it's all without the guidance of Santa Claus. So it's basically other people doing it for their grandfather. So I think the kids will like that. Akuma Kun is a anime series. I don't know much about that stuff, but I know a lot of people who like that. So check that out on Netflix. As you mentioned, Dragon Viper, The Killer. That's also one coming up. Robbie Williams. And it's funny, we just talked about him before the show. For the UK viewers out there. Now, I don't recognize his music, but if you knew of him, this is a great series that gives an inside look on the last 25 years of Robbie Williams' huge pop career. Not here, but over there. So that'll be also on Netflix there. Yeah, there you go. The Temple of Film, 100 Years of the Egyptian Theater. This should be interesting if you really like theater. The Fixture in Hollywood. I think I went by it one time, but the Egyptian Theater, built in 1922. It's the site of the world's first movie premiere. So I think if you're into Hollywood history, this is something for you. And that's pretty much, the ones that I could see that I think people will enjoy. So anything stand out to you, Dragon Viper?
No, besides The Killer, nothing else stands out to me.
I don't know why I even asked that. Duh. Chris, anything stand out?
Probably the last one you said about the Hollywood history one, about the theater. I think that'd
The
be
Egyptian
cool.
Theater.
Yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Guillermo del Toro, you know him from so many different films, filmmaker. He has interviews that thing, and then Rian Johnson is another one. And then producer Lynette Hal Taylor, who did A Star Is Born. So there's a lot of history with that. So that's all the new releases I think you'll find out there that you may enjoy if you're out there. All right. All right. Now let's get to some fun. Why don't we? I wonder if I should go last on this. Yeah, I'll go last. All right, Chris, I'll go to you first. We're going to do like a top 5, top 10 list, depending on how many we can come up with. And this one was pretty tough to even trim down to 10. But it's kind of a top 10 if you're a fan of David Letterman back then. I'll do it without the note and the cup and the hee laugh. But all right, Chris, give me your top 10 list of your favorite comedy movies, and it doesn't have to be in order.
We'll go Austin Powers,
Oh,
Ace Ventura, uh, Dodgeball, Talladega Nights, of the four. We'll go Ferris Bueller, Happy Gilmore,
yep.
that's all I can think of.
No, those are
Yeah.
really good. When I think about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, there's so many great scenes in that. But maybe one of the best scenes of all time is the scene of the parade. And you know how the Beatles song is being played in it, and then you have the whole just madness of things going on, and they're just trying to blend into it. And the father somehow just doesn't see it from the office window. I absolutely enjoy that scene. I mean, the choreography with all the people, the townspeople, the whole, like I mentioned, the whole parade. You know, that one scene is worth so much, and then just all the characters in there. It's probably, out of all the ones you mentioned, it's probably my favorite out of the ones you mentioned. Dragon Viper. Now, I know you had a hard time cutting down 10, but what's your top 10 favorite comedy movies?
You know, I did have a really rough time because, you know, alongside horror, I really love comedy. And I don't know if I got me kind of being funny with comedy movies. I don't know, but it was a tough decision. So this isn't in any order. But the movies I chose were Airplane, Clerks 2, Happy Gilmore, Napoleon Dynamite,
Oh man.
Anger Management,
Yes.
Suburban Commando.
Never heard of that.
Huh?
I've never heard of that.
It's with Hulk Hogan, and he's a galactic space warrior, and
Wow.
and Undertaker's in it too. Scary Movie 3. That's my favorite of all those. Billy Madison,
Yes.
The Sandlot, and The Waterboy. So, I mean, it was tough pulling out 10, but yeah, I definitely love comedy altogether. So.
Now, before I do mine, Chris, do we have any comments on or anything such as?
Yeah. Chrissy's given a movie suggestion.
Oh,
There you go.
I forgot about that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll check that out.
And then Big B's calling out Randy here.
Oh boy.
You know what, Brandon? Nothing. Never mind.
All right, that's cool.
And then Isaiah saying, "What's up?"
Who? Yeah, we don't need him in here. I'm just
We
saying.
love you, Isaiah.
We do. Okay, my top 12 or 13 or 14 or 15.
Wait a minute.
Let's say
Yeah,
there's so many honorable mentions. All right, Coming to America is probably my favorite comedy movie of all time. I just, when Eddie Murphy was really good, it was the 80s, and that was for some reason I watched that when I was really young, didn't understand all the references. I do now, of course, but I really enjoyed that movie. Same thing with Pootie Tang. I don't know why, but I absolutely love that movie, and it's stupid. It's stupid as hell, but it's great for me. That's fitting. Down to Earth with Chris Rock. It was a remake of a film, in the 40s or 50s, and they made it into comedy. So I really enjoyed that movie. It had Chaz, the Italian last name, but he also did A Bronx Tale. And if we have like a drama, I think that'd probably be my number one. A movie I mentioned earlier, Blazing Saddles. I just love the humor that you couldn't do now in that movie. I mean, there's so many quotable quotes in that movie. Hey, where are all the white women at? It's not Headley, it's Headley. There's so many different quotes in that movie. If you ever seen that, it's just amazing. It has Gene Wilder and how great he was. Another one I can think of is CB4. I don't know. Ever since health class in freshman year, when a teacher told me you should watch this movie, and I thought it was going to be like a dramatic movie. Well, no, it was basically a comedy movie. Chris Rock is a rapper, and he has his friends do it too. You just have to watch it. A dark one I could think of is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Has Christina Applegate among others. I'm right on that, Joanne, or whatever the woman's name was. I'm right on top of that, Liz, I think was the main quote. But that movie, it's mysterious, but it's also funny too. The way that they have to hide, the grandma and fake like she's not really dead, and she is, and people come by the house. It's just crazy like that. Now, the Adam Sandler portion of it, don't mess with the Zohan. I will stop and watch this anytime I can. It's just funny, and it has all the SNL people. It has, like Michael Buffer all of a sudden in it. Mariah Carey's in it somehow. Robert Smigel. It's all these great people in it that you don't expect to be in it, and it's really cool. It really, yeah, it really gets, especially now in the world. But you get different. You get a different feel of different people from different countries, and you get a feel with that. With Adam Sandler, a lot of his movies, when you think about it, guys, a lot of it is funny, but it also teaches lessons, and you learn from other people. That's what's crazy about it. You think it's really stupid, but it's actually, you learn something at the end, and he always does a good deed or something. Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, those are my Chris Farley and David Spade movies. I loved when those two did movies together. Tommy Boy, the whole situation with Chris Farley trying to save his dad's car part company, and he has to go around the country to sell them. Black Sheep, Chris Farley, I think, what was it? He tries to campaign for his dad for the state of Washington mayor, I believe, or not mayor, but governor. So that's really a funny movie. And then House Party would be probably my last one out of so many. I really enjoy that movie. The whole dancing scenes, the whole situations they get in, and it's just based on a house party going on. So I really, really enjoy that. Looks like everybody is gone, but they'll be right back. And I wonder in the comments if you can, everyone, put in your favorite comedy movies, and if we have any, shout them out to you.
Christy Wilson saying her husband likes Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, it's a acquired taste if you don't like too much raunchy stuff, but it's actually very witty. That's what I enjoy about it.
And she liked this movie.
Oh my, that one I love. I'll tell you what, anything John Candy, Eugene Levy, all those people from SCTV back then, Catherine O'Hara, all those people, all those Canadian folks, Mike Myers, Dan Aykroyd, I love them all, and most of the movies I really love, and John Candy
Jim
especially.
Carrey?
I mean, no, but he also came from
Canadian.
Canada. Yeah. I'll tell you what, we can have a whole category on Jim Carrey stuff. I'll tell you that much.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so the last topic the last topic I guess for tonight, we're gonna do some trivia. I'll ask the questions because I have the answers. Duh. But let's do like a best of 3. And I'll keep score. All right, and then you could steal. By the way, you could steal if you wanted to. The other person could steal. So the hard part is trying to figure out who to ask what. That's the hard part. All right, Chris, I'll start with you.
Uh-huh.
All right. So who directed the hit movie in 2017, Get Out? And was it A, James Wan, B, Jordan Peele, C, Guillermo del Toro, or D, Tim Story?
I'm going to go B.
You're right, Jordan Peele. He's also done other movies like that too that have been very successful. He's a really, really smart and adventurous person, and I think he really does well with that. All right, let's go with Dragon Viper. Your first question, as it's 1-0. Which comedian makes a zombie cameo in Zombieland? A, Dan Aykroyd, B, Chevy Chase, C, Steve Martin, or D, Bill Murray?
Bill Murray.
Yep, you got that one. I figured you would. All right, so we're tied at 1. All right, Chris, which movie does not feature Winona Ryder? She still looks amazing, at least to me. I believe she's in Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
Viper, yeah. Yeah, she's been a crush forever. All right, so which movie does not feature Winona Ryder, Chris? A, Lucas, B, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, C, Bram Stoker's Dracula, or D, Girl Interrupted?
I'm going to go with A.
She is in that, unfortunately. Dragon Viper, would you like to steal and hear
What were those movies again?
Okay, so the ones that do not feature Winona Ryder. A, Lucas, B, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, C, Bram Stoker's Dracula, or D, Girl Interrupted?
B, what's Eating Gilbert Grape? Or yeah.
So Dragon Viper stole that one. It is a 2-1 lead. Maybe we'll do more best out of whoever gets to 4 first. So I have more questions here. I believe it is Dragon Viper's turn.
Yeah.
All right. I'll ask you a question here. What is the name of Jesse's horse in Toy Story 2? A, Longshot, B, Gallop, C, Bullseye, or D, Dart?
Bullseye.
He's got it. All right, 3-1 lead for Dragon Viper. All right, Chris, which actor has not played Spider-Man? A, Tobey Maguire, B, Topher Grace, C, Andrew Garfield, not the president, or D, Tom Holland?
C?
No, he did actually. I think the second to the last film, because Tom Holland, I guess, does it now. Would you like to steal Dragon Viper?
Yeah. B.
All right. Yeah, Topher Grace. I can't imagine him. He would just be, talking randomly to people, not like fighting crime. That'd be weird. All right, so Dragon Viper's up 4-1. Let's go to Dragon Viper. All right, which comedian did not star in Three Amigos? A, Henry Winkler, B, Martin Short, C, Chevy Chase, or D, Steve Martin?
Henry Winkler.
He got that. 5-1. Crispy Bacon. Which actor hasn't played Batman in a movie? Batman. A, Ben Affleck, B, Robert Pattinson, C, Will Arnett, or D, Christian Slater?
I'm gonna go with Christian Slater.
He did actually. I think
I knew one
the
on that. I knew he did. A
I think the,
variation of
it's like before Affleck. I want to say he did, and before Patterson, of course. But imagine Will Arnett. I mean, that dude. He's like awkward but funny. I can imagine him being Batman. But yeah, he didn't play him.
He kind of did.
I can't remember when he did. What was it 5-1 of Dragon Viper?
Yeah.
All right, let's end it on this. If Dragon Viper doesn't get it, you could still, Chris. Which movie, Dragon Viper, doesn't star Molly Ringwald? A, 16 Candles, B, Can't Buy Me Love, C, The Breakfast Club, or D, Pretty in Pink? Pretty in Pink.
B.
Can't Buy Me Love. Yes, that's it. Well, obviously, Dragon Viper knows his stuff. I barely know it. I knew some of these, but that was fun. 6-1, it goes to Dragon Viper. We'll keep count, and we'll see if other people come on.
I challenge people. Let's just put that out there right now. I challenge people.
Maybe we'll have Isaiah and he'll get nothing. Could you imagine that if he came on? All right, we'll have more questions, next week and the weeks on, and we'll have more topics and we'll have more to talk about. As again, the writer's strike is over, and the actor strike with that is over. So there'll be more content and more stuff coming out. And if you have any suggestions out there for us to talk about in the comments or wherever, just reach out to me, comment in, reach out to us at C2C. But I think we'll get to the final portion of our show here on Entertainment Hour, the final thoughts portion. Let's go to Dragon Viper first. What was your final thoughts about tonight's show?
My final thoughts is I'm glad everybody's able to watch this. I'm glad this is back on. And I mean, entertainment's fun. I enjoy it. It's just like wrestling, or anything else, any of the I can't even talk now. Any of the other shows that I'm on, I enjoy it. I'm enjoying this, and I think it's gonna continue on. So, thank you everyone for watching. And I hope everybody has a good night.
All right, Crispy Bacon.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. I'm glad the show's back. We haven't done it in a while, and I hope you guys enjoy this iteration of it. It'll be replayed tomorrow, Saturday. If you didn't miss it, if you didn't catch it today, we'll be back every Friday, and Morning Tailgate will be Sunday.
That's right. So, if people followed the On Deck show about the MLB, this show, of course, replaced it. And there'll be other shows coming on as well, but make sure you tune to Coast for all of the shows going on during the week, like I mentioned. I'll be on Morning Tailgate, Sportsman on Wednesday, Morning Tailgate, of course, on Sunday morning to get you ready for the NFL season. Hopefully that'll be a top 10 like sports movie. We'll have something like that. Maybe next time, who knows? But yeah, my final thoughts. Hey, great to bring the show back. I watched the old ones. Dragon Viper held it down, and it was awesome to have it back. And I got to start doing my homework on things because, like I mentioned, I don't watch. I watch like old stuff, but not any of the new stuff. And I might have to borrow somebody's passwords to get involved with the new stuff. So anybody out there, let me know. All right. Well, this has been Entertainment Hour on Coast to Coast Network, and go out and watch a movie or watch a show or something. I have to. You should too, like us. We'll see you next time on Entertainment Hour. Goodbye, everybody.